Hi, friends. I just feel like hanging out, so I came on here to say hi. And I want to talk about something that is landing on my heart today. So, as you're coming on, say hi. Let me know if you're watching the replay. I want to talk about what I see women that have claimed confidence or that we see as confident, what they're doing differently and how they're showing up. And that key thing being they take ownership. They take radical freaking ownership over their life, because confidence isn't something that we just step into. I know a lot of times it's like, oh, maybe she's born with it, maybe it's Maybelline, and it's like, that's not true. You know, my background is I used to use drugs and alcohol, and you know, I have things like sexual assault, or I have domestic violence in my back pocket, or I have addictions, and I have eating disorder and all these kind of things, and all of the things that make you struggle with body image issues, right? And to build this sense of confidence came from keeping your word. And this is a thing that I see a lot of people get tripped up on. They come into the new year and it's like, new year, new me. New year, new me. I'm going to do things. I'm going to, start to search all this stuff. I'm going to get a better understanding of like my inner workings and my subconscious and all these roadblocks that get me going. And then what? And so I want to talk about that today. If you're new to my world, hello, you cute little pickle. My name is Laura Patricia Martin. I'm a trauma-informed relationship specialist. And right now, I'm talking all about body image because we have, I love this. Let's have a chat, my dear. And right now I'm talking a lot about body image because that's what we're launching inside of Boundless Bonita, which is a documentary style program. It's so cool, y'all. Like the edits and everything that's coming through, it's giving you the behind the scenes, plus you get a group Voxer support, so to guide you through if you're in this first round. That's not going to be available other rounds, but that's what we're talking about this time. So the big thing that I see, because a lot of times this is what I hear when I'm interviewed on podcasts or in my circles, or a lot of things with entrepreneurs, they know they need to show up live. They know they need to, it's a personal brand, and yet they're not there. Right? And they're like, oh, I'm just not confident. Like, I don't know, Laura Patricia Martin, right? I'm just not confident like her. This was created. This was built. This was by keeping my commitment, right? Like, so inside of Boundless Bonita, I literally talk about how I started to build my confidence because I'd make my bed every morning. Because I saw that one YouTube where it's like this drill sergeant where he talks about is like, as long as you make your bed in the morning, at least you kept your commitment. The thing about confidence, it comes from doing the scary thing. It comes from the fear in taking action. And a lot of us let our fears get in the way of taking action. I'll do this when I don't feel afraid. I'll do this when I feel more confident. I'll go on that date when I lose the 10 pounds because I'm afraid of someone actually seeing me. I will, actually work on my intimacy when I'm feeling a certain way so I can show up and I can feel this way. Like, how many of you are using excuses to not do the damn thing? And that's the truth, where it's like, the way that I see it, I'm at the table with these high level people that a lot of you stalk on the internet. And I was so afraid of getting in these rooms because I was like, oh, they're going to find out about me. They're going to find out I have these insecurities and I have these things. And it was because being at that table, I started to learn the inner workings of how these people think, that I was able to collapse time and embody them. That's why we're creating this documentary series in this way, because I want to show you that. How do people think that are actually truly confident? And the truth is, they keep their commitments, they do the scary thing often, and they show the fuck up. Right? Like, they continually show up and they treat themselves like someone they love. They don't wait for someone to love them. The thing that I see a lot in dating is when I'm with the right person, I will then feel confident. Then we're co-regulating with someone else, which is fine, right? Like, we're allowed to co-regulate with someone, but if we're using that as a source of validation, we're using that as a source of toxic validation. At the end of the day, your confidence comes from you. No one else, not what you wear, not how you show up, not any of those things. It's your belief system. Half the thing that I did Boundless Bonita in, I'm in a towel and my robe because it was in the morning. It doesn't matter what you're wearing or what you look like or any of those things. Yes, they're fun. Like, it's definitely fun as an additive. I shared that in my story today. It's fun as an additive. Like, I get to go have this savage energy in the gym now because I've regulated my nervous system to then be able to hold it and have it in this grounded space, right? But if you're coming at confidence as this way of, I'm going to somehow punish myself into becoming more confident, right? Like, witnessing those inner workings. Tell me this lands for you or not. Witnessing those inner workings where it's like, shit, I did it again. Shit, I binged again. Shit, I had this self-deprecating thought again when I looked in the mirror. Shit. And like, it's beating yourself up because you're not yet there. And then putting your time pressure on it. Like, I know better. I know better than to be doing this, and therefore I'm an idiot. Therefore I'm not getting things done. And like, inside of us are these like inner workings of getting in our way because of these thoughts. And I'm curious to know how this is landing for you, because a lot of us think that confidence is just external. Like, when we think about body image, right, it has so many different elements to it. It's not just one thing. I have it from my notes from the thing. It's body dissatisfaction. I just don't like the way that I look. It's, over valuation of the shape of your body or the weight of your body, and you're putting so much context, right? You've seen in the advertisements for this program where it's like, body image does not mean self-image. And doing the trauma work around that, y'all, that's freedom, right? Sure, you can have body goals, but it doesn't actually matter what the shape of your body is and all these, like, that's not what gives you worth in this world. And when you start to claim ownership, like, think of the times that you've gone out and you've felt the most confident. Why was that? Why was that really? Was it because of something you were wearing? Was it because the shape of your body? Or was it because you actually were doing things for yourself and kept the commitments to yourself? Right? The thing about our promises to ourselves, and the thing about that is that we're breaking them often. We don't treat ourselves like someone we love. We don't treat ourselves like someone we respect. We honestly treat our dogs often better than we treat ourselves. Like, if they're sick, we take them to the vet right away. We're like, oh my God, what's wrong? Or like our children or our things, and of course we do. But why do we not give ourselves that kind of same love and compassion? That's where confidence comes from, right? It's this, I respect myself so much that I'm going to show up for this all the time. I'm going to do this, right? And then there's other things where it's like continuous body checking, always looking in the mirror, always checking, always like, as soon as you look in the mirror, it's like sucking in your stomach. You're like, oh, if I was just like this, it'd be better. I used to do that. I used to like pinch my body, and I'm like, mate, who told you weren't worthy at the size that you are right now? Who? Society? Because they're telling us to run around like little hairless men that don't have periods, and that yet they want us to pump out children. Well, that's not gonna work, right? And then there's the body obsession, where we think like we're constantly thinking about our body. And this is, I talked about this in a previous live, where it comes into dating, where like I had to gain 40 pounds for health reasons and beyond that, to be completely honest. And I remember sitting on my first few dates, and I honestly couldn't get out of my own head because I kept thinking, they're going to find out that I'm heavier. They're going to find out that I'm insecure. They're going to find out about me. Oh my God, is he looking at me? And like, you're fidgeting all the time and you're not present because you're so obsessed with your body that it's really hard to have relationships. And at the core, what's so freeing and a part of healing your body image and being a person that has confidence, it's not in an egotistical way. It's in such a grounded way. I call this living sanctuary inside of my brand, where you're a living sanctuary because you're so grounded in who you are that you're so present with your relationships. And you become that source of light for people. You become that grounding force. You get to see your friendships and your relationships for who they truly are, because you're no longer obsessed with your body. You're no longer obsessed with how it looks or things like this. Like, of course we have goals. Of course we want to go to the edge and we want to see how many ways it can go, but it's no longer for validation. It's no longer for worth. It's no longer for, I'm not worthy of love or dating until I'm this size or this shape, like that's something that you're missing out on life then. And I don't want anyone else to miss out on life. And so as I was like thinking of this year and thinking, iconic is the entire year. So it's like, how does someone get there? How does someone get to this confidence level, to this like, oh my God, I'm raptured in love and money flows easily to me and I can show up in any situation and I always feel like I belong and I'm here and I know that's exactly what I'm here for. Like, how the fuck does someone get there? Because we see people talk about this all the time because we're on social media and we never talk about the truth behind social media and what it takes to have all these things. And we just assume people are born with this confidence. What does it actually take? What I've seen from the tables I've sat at, my own journey, the science, the things of that nature, having a healthy relationship to your body. Because if you're doing things in this field, if you're running a business, if you're a high achieving individual, if you are successful in your career, whatever it is, if you're leading teams and you're in this space of social, personal development, there's a fuck ton of shadow work in it. And all we're doing is becoming more and more and more aware of the things that are wrong with us. This is why I didn't get on with therapy for so long, because I didn't have something else outside of that to release it. Because the way trauma works, and I know a lot of people don't identify with the word trauma, but trauma is just what happened to you. Your body got stuck in an event. It could be a big T trauma, like I said with mine, where it's rape or domestic violence or loss and addictions. It could be that. Or it could be, one time when you were a young kid, someone said something to you and it just got stuck and kept repeating in your head that somehow you're not worthy because of the size that you're at. It could have been a comment that your mom made in passing. Like, it could have been something like this that then imprinted this on you of somehow your worth is now. Actually, even in the book that I'm reading, there's a Google study that came out, and it was in New York Times, where it's like parents are 2 times more likely to search, is my son a genius? And 2 times more is likely to search, is my daughter overweight? So a lot of us, especially women, are equated to our worth in our looks. That's trauma. It gets stored in our body and we start to live this out so much so that we let it dictate where we're going in life. And so confidence comes from the body healing that, releasing that. It's not enough to just be aware that we have body image issues. It's not enough. That's what I wish I could tell my 22-year-old self that knew she had an eating disorder, that knew she was too small, that knew she wasn't eating like a normal person, but she didn't know how to stop. And she just kept going to therapist and therapist and therapist and therapist and therapist and thinking something was wrong with her because none of that was working. Not realizing the problem was she wasn't connected to her body at all. She didn't even know how to start with that because everything she saw was like Amazonian women, like in Bali, just like this. And she's like, it's not me. I'm a little bit of a modern woman. And that practice, though, somatics, that's what that is. You have to release trauma through the body. The only way to heal body image issues is through getting in your body. The only way to get in your body is to continually show up and do the work, even though you feel like an imposter and it feels weird and everything in your body is rejecting it. The reason we feel fear, the reason you may have seen Boundless Bonita and you're like, I really want to fucking do this. I've seen Laura's evolution. I've seen this whole thing. I really want to do it. And I'm having this fear. I'm having this resistance. That's your egoic protection. That's our subconscious brain. If it takes us out of the pattern that we have, that's scary. That's why a lot of us getting self-help or getting a mentor or investing in things, after 24 hours, we will convince ourselves all the reasons why we shouldn't do it. That's the cool thing about the brain. And now when you know that, you can witness it and you're like, thank you so much for protecting me. And I really do want to shift this pattern. Understanding how you work is how you set yourself free. Understanding where the fears are actually keeping you safe. Understanding that even though you consciously could want something, what's happening in your life, the obsessions, the patterns, the behavioral characteristics, the toxic traits, the frustrations, what's happening in your life is actually what you want. That's actually what your subconscious deems as safe. Case in point, like the end. And so if we're looking to change the way that we feel about our body, it's not something that's, let me think it and make it so. Let me put sticky notes around my house of I am beautiful and I love me. That's not what that says, but I did that. That's what I thought would work. What truly works is the practice of embodiment. How do you get safe in your body? We live in a world where Instagram and TikTok is making us aware of a whole bunch of shit without the actual science or diagnosis, and we're just self-diagnosing ourselves through the internet. But you can know when something is off, right? And so we're aware of so many things, and then we're starting to have these self-deprecating thoughts and these fears and these things because we're too aware and we're not doing anything. And there's a whole bunch of shadows without the expression. And there's a whole bunch of knowledge without the embodiment. I see this too much. This is why for this year we're starting with body image. We're starting with creating safety in your body around how you look, around how you feel about how you look. From start to finish of the day, how do you get in? How do you tap in? How do you heal? How do you release? Beyond just being aware. And in doing that, it's keeping your commitment. It's choosing that one thing every single day, and you're doing it over and over again. Because it's not just, oh, I'm going to keep my commitment to going to the gym so I can lose weight, so therefore I can look a certain way, so then I'll feel confident. Who would have fucking thought that 40 pounds heavier is when I was the most confident of my life? I had the six-pack. I was tiny. I had little things. I thought something at the end of a HIIT workout would somehow make me happy. It never came. I thought something at the end of hitting a financial goal would make me feel confident and worthy. I remember the day sitting in the cafe when I hit my financial goal, shut the laptop, and I went, fuck. That feeling is still there. And I hired my first coach. Outside of business, my first life coach. Because it wasn't a business strategy that was going to give me confidence. It was re-entering the flow and the joy of my life. And so I gift that to you, however that lands with you today. There's a reason you landed on this live. There's no mistakes in life, right? There's a reason you landed on it. Why? Think on that after what comes up for you. If you feel called to share with me, I love having conversations in my inbox. I love getting to know you guys in this way, especially when it comes to body image or, healing your relationship patterns or, to be fair, like the only way we can also heal our relationship patterns is to heal our body, our relationship to our body. Like literally the only way. You have to have a conversation with your body to release it. It's not just enough to know things. We have to apply and do. And so in Boundless Bonita, that's what we're doing. It's literally me showing you my life. How I did this, how I overcame a wild eating disorder that almost made me not be able to have children, that made me lose my period for 6 years, how it had rashes that took over my body, how I can confidently and comfortably gain weight because I needed to, how I could claim my sexuality after rape and domestic violence, how I can claim my boujee savage self after all of that, so you can too, and at faster rates than I did. It's all the tools. It's from start to finish of the day. I have a sit-down chat. My best friend is interviewing me. So you get the tools, you get the mindset, and you get the real-life application of these things. How it really works behind the scenes. This is how I see this industry changing. I want to pave the way in that. Beyond just me with a slide deck and teaching you what trauma is and where body image stemmed from and all the things, it's way more useful for you to get safe right now than focus on the origin story. That once you're safe in your body, go explore where it's from. Go explore the origin story. Have fun. Right now, we're too much in this day and age looking at origin story. Why am I self-conscious? And it's like, just finding that out isn't going to heal it. Creating safety in the now, building resiliency for the future, and then if you feel like it, go look at the origin story. This program is kicking off, Boundless Bonita is kicking off January 22nd, this Sunday. It is a pre-recorded, so you get to watch it whenever you want, but for the first round, I am adding a Voxer support group, which is an audio app group support. So you get to come in, whatever reflections you have, you get to drop your voice notes in there, connect with the other women however you want. I will spend 1 hour from Sunday to Wednesday. I'm giving an extra day for anyone that has busy stuff and can't watch the modules on the thing. I'm giving you an extra day to watch them, and then you get to come into Voxer and you get an hour of coaching with me, which is usually a couple $1,000s. So this is only available for this round. But I wanted to add this component into it so we can support it. And I know people are busy, especially entrepreneurs at this time of the year. So I wanted to eliminate the I don't have time excuse. Because it's an hour, you can do it on your walk. And it's Voxer, you can do it anywhere. There is no time other than committing to yourself for 4 days. And what did I say the biggest thing about confidence is? Keeping your word and committing to yourself. That time and time again, proving to yourself that you can do hard things, including relax and surrender and get in your body. Because that's often the thing that we avoid. We want a strategy and a 2 to 10 step formula of however it works, and that doesn't fucking work. So I'm showing you. This is how we're doing it. It's going to be revolutionary. I am getting the edits back now. It is the most extraordinary thing that I have ever created. It is my entire heart. It is how I have built this. My heart, my soul, which is the foundation of this business and this brand. And I want that for you. I truly believe this is how we can change the world. It's just falling radically in love with ourselves. So if you're interested in joining that, if you have questions, if you have concerns or anything, like, you guys know I don't sell, like, I don't reach out to people other than saying hi. Like, if you have questions, just ask them. If it's not a good fit, I trust your timing. I will never chase you. I will never do any of that. That's not I'm a projector. We make invitations and we wait for the invitation. We don't chase them. So if you're interested in joining and you have questions, just come ask. It's perfect. This program is $333. There is a 2-month payment plan available. I think it's $157 a month. So for 2 months, you get that. And like I said, Voxer is just an added bonus this time because I feel like gifting you guys something. It will not be available for the replays or anything like that. I will not be saving the chat. So that is the added bonus for joining the first round of this. So I love you. I will see you in my inbox. And also, if this landed on your heart and someone is coming to mind and you're like, oh, so-and-so needs to hear this. They've been struggling with confidence and body image, and I just wish they would stand in their power, and I feel like this would land for them, send it their way. This is how we start revolutionary conversations with the people that we care about most. So I love you, and thank you.